Hey you guys, I am finally back with another video. I had some technical difficulties with my phone, okay? It was a whole issue, but I'm back and I'm bringing y'all a Valentine's Day set. So I want to start off this video though by mentioning I did in my last video say I was going to do a giveaway. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. So this is the person who won. So all you have to do is go on Instagram, hit me up, and we'll exchange information and I'm going to send you some goodies. So back to this set, my client came in, I did all my natural nail prep, got her tips on, she's going for tapered square, and now I'm going in and I'm applying my first color. This is Glam and Glitz Pinkaholic, which is such a beautiful color. It does marble just a little bit, but it still gives off such a beautiful color. So I started off by placing that bead at the center of the nail, just walking it down, making sure that I tuck in the sides, and then making sure that I'm squaring off the end of my acrylic. When you're applying your acrylic, you have to apply it not just perfect, but you want to be neat with it. The more neat and the more smooth it is, the easier it's going to be to get that into shape. So after I applied that, I'm going to come in with my cuticle bead and I'm going to place that at the back of the nail, and I'm going to make sure that I get that as close to the cuticle as I can, and then I'm going to also make sure that my sides are nice and smooth, and then I'm just going to blend it through. So after I finish getting that color smooth and all in place, I'm going to go in and cap it with clear. Now I normally cap everything with clear, y'all. Here lately though, powders that I know are strength powders, cover powders, so like your nudes, anything that I know is a strength powder, I have not been capping. I've just been building it up, and it has been a whole lot easier to file pretty much. Now when it comes to colored powders, I do not have faith in them. So I will apply a thin layer of that color, and then I will go in and cap it and make my apex and develop that strength with my clear. I'ma make a better way. Hey, hey, nigga, catch a break. Better way. Oh, hey. Okay, so for my next color, I'm going to be using Valentino's Dragonfruit. It is a very deep French pink. If you're looking for a darker pink, this one is a really good color. I really do recommend it. So pretty much for this set, y'all, it's going to be all solids. I'm going to be doing mainly my nail art on top of these nails when they are done. So the application is pretty much just all solid colors. So I'm starting off this bead like I do any other one at the center of the nail, and then I'm going to walk it down. But just like I mentioned before, now this is a cover powder, so I'm going to only build this up with this color. So I'm coming in, this is going to be my first bead. Then my next bead, I'll put it right on top of where I started that first bead, and I will bring that down. Now the goal here is not to overload my tip with too much powder. That way when it comes to filing, it's going to help me file that into shape. If it's too thick, you're not going to be able to get the shape that you want. So now I'm coming in with my second bead, and this is where I'm going to start to build my apex. Now right at that point where the natural nail meets the artificial tip, that's where you're prone to getting breaks. So you want to make sure that you focus there and you put most of your powder in the center of that nail. That's where you want to build it up. So that's why we always stress build up your apex and your nails won't break. So I placed that bead there and I held it there in the center. I didn't just automatically blend it down. I held it there, built it up, and then I blended what was left through the first bead. So I'm just checking my sides, and now I'm going to come in with my cuticle bead. Now for my cuticle bead, I'm going to place it at the cuticle. I'm going to apply pressure and just let that product flow into that nail. Now I'm pressing most of that bead through the center, and then on my sides I'm going to just smooth those down. You don't want it to be built up also on your sides, because then that's when you're going to get into them looking too thick. So you want to be able to control your acrylic. That's how you're going to get a good shape. So I'm just checking my sides, making sure that everything is smooth, and that's pretty much it. I am going to just leave this with 3 beads. And I just recently started doing my application like this. And since I have been doing it, I have noticed a big difference when it comes to my filing. I'm doing way less filing, y'all. So this has really helped me do better when it comes to filing, because y'all know that is like my weakness. I hate when it comes to filing. I just want to zip over that and be done. But that's what takes me the longest. So I'm moving on. I'm going to apply that color on the pointer, and I'm also going to apply that on the thumb. So on this one though, I kind of noticed I got off track. I only used 2 beads instead of 3. Now that is fine. If you're still able to build that apex with your second bead, then you can do that. I just took a bigger bead when it came to my cuticle bead, and I used that to build up my apex. So for the ring finger, this one is going to be built with just the clear. So I'm going to do the same thing, use the 3 bead method and build this up. And with this clear, I'm not doing a glass nail design, so I'm not worried about it being super clear. So I'm just building it up like I would any other color. I have been doing a lot of glass nails though, and they're kind of not a pain to do, but as you know, you got to apply your acrylic different. Instead of being able to really mold it and manipulate it, you got to work wet, and that could be very messy sometimes, and it does take a lot more to get it into shape. So I was glad that I wasn't doing a glass nail on this one. I was able just to build it up and get it into shape. Okay, so I have all of my application done. Now I'm going to go in and file these. Like I said in the beginning, we're going for a tapered square. So to help me try to get the best shape that I can get, I started off by applying tapered square tips, and now I'm coming in with my hand file and I'm sharpening up those sides, but I'm making sure to not over file. I feel like sometimes that's what I can easily do, so I'm being very careful not to do that. I'm just taking my hand file and I'm stopping. As you can see, I'll file some and then I'll stop and I will check to see where exactly I need to file, or look and see exactly how much I need to take off. So everything I do is with purpose. I cannot stress that enough. Sometimes you can go in and you can just take that hand file and go to town and not even realize or know what exactly you're trying to do. So that's something you really want to focus on if you're having a hard time when it comes to your shaping. So I also went in and did a little bit of hand filing after that, and these are all done and ready for design. So for my design, the first thing I'm going to start off by doing is taking my palette and adding some of my gel to that palette, because I'm going to be hand painting on a French nail design. Now this is like a 2-for-1 right here, y'all, The reflective gel and the hand painted Frenches have been so popular right now. I have been seeing a ton of this going around. So I'm using my striper brush and I'm just starting at the side wall of the nail, and I'm going to start there and then just bring it up and then connect it down on the opposite side wall. And that pretty much is it when it comes to French nails. They're pretty easy. They definitely do not take as much time to build it up with acrylic, but I don't know. I guess it just depends on what gel polish you use, because I do not like to see any streaks in my polish. So if I could use paint gel every time, then it would be fine. Gel polishes like this with glitter, they're definitely easy to use because you never can see streaking in that. But that's my only con when it comes to painting on a gel polish design. You have to have the right gel polish. And y'all know sometimes you don't have every gel polish, so you kind of have to use what you got. And if you ain't got what's right, then that just ruins it for me. But with this gel polish, like I said, it is a reflective gel. They have been all the rage. And don't get me wrong, they are so pretty. But let's be real. When in the heck are we going to be flashed with your flashlight on your camera? Not every day just walking around. So you have to intentionally be flashed in order for someone to see how beautiful these nails are. Other than that, I'm with the little gel polish. So for my pinky nail, I'm going to be adding some pixie crystals. So the first thing I'm going to do is use my Ugly Duckling Stick It, and this is just a crystal gel, and I'm going to apply a thin layer onto that pinky nail. Now once I have it from cuticle to tip, I'm going to come in with a non-wipe top coat and do a very thin layer over that. The reason why I do that is because this sticky gel, it leaves a inhibition layer. So if nothing is directly on top of it, it's going to gunk up and just attract any kind of debris. So you want to make sure that you apply a non-wipe top coat over it. Very, very thin. Once I do that, I'm going to just apply those pixies right over. And these pixies I got off of Amazon. Now, normally I use these pixies from AliExpress, and I do see a big difference. These ones, they had that AB reflect, but it was just something about them. I think they were just a little bit too big, so I didn't really care for these ones. So I'm going to continue to repurchase the ones from AliExpress. I have already ran out of those, and that's why I was trying these ones, but they are a no-go. So once I apply them, I'm going to make sure that I take an orange wood stick, clean off any bit that has gotten onto the skin around the cuticle area, and I'm also kind of pressing those in. I'm making sure that they're not spilling out of the sides, so it's not going to ruin my shape. Once I have all of that done, I'm going to cure them. So for this nail, I'm going to be doing a sugared nail. Now I find that gel polish, a thin kind of viscosity of gel, really works good when you're doing sugaring. You don't want a gel polish that's too thick because it won't have the ability sometimes to cure all the way with that sugar on top. So use just a very thin polish. Now I could have just applied a clear to this nail and then went in with a colored polish, but I really wanted that pink to stand out underneath whatever glitter that I was going to use. So the gel polish I used was a very sheer pink, and now I'm going in and I'm using just this glitter I got from Amazon and sprinkling that right over that nail. And same thing, I'm going to make sure that I tap away any build up, and then I'm going to come in with an orange stick and also clean around the cuticle so nothing gets stuck there. And then I'm going to cure. So for the middle finger, I'm going to start mixing up some colors. I'm going to be doing some conversation hearts. So I'm going to start off with a lighter pink, and I just took one of my Madame Glam pink colors and added just a little bit of white to it. And now I'm going to come in with my dotting tool, and with the thick side of that dotting tool, I'm going to create 2 dots, and that's going to be the beginning of my hearts. So once I have that down, I'm going to come in with my striping brush, and I'm going to start at one end, bring it down, and then connect the other end with that, and then just start filling it in to create my heart. Once I have my hearts completed, I cured them for 60 seconds, and now I'm coming in and I'm just going to outline them using that same dark color that I started off with. Mom and Dad's only daughter, do I make you proud? Writing my life in lyrics, do you like the sound? Seeking approval constantly. When it's my truth I own, I speak, it don't make sense now. Give it a good, put that on good. When it gets hard, I stay on my job like no days off. So for the thumb, I was struggling with doing this one, y'all. I intended on using a water slide decal, and I applied it and I just didn't like the way it looked. So I said, okay, well, let me try it again. Did it again, and I still didn't like it. So I ended up taking it off, and now I'm just using the colors that I used in the set, and I was like, okay, what can I do with those colors? So I ended up just creating these swirls, starting with the light pink and then the dark pink, and then I'm also going to incorporate the white. Okay, so I already went in and filled in my conversation hearts. I added her man's name and then love, and I just used the tip of my striper brush and tried to make sure that I was not applying a lot of pressure when doing so. Cured that, and then I also top coated. Now for the thumb, you can see I went in and I added some hearts to those swirls. I was like, this thumb just needs a little bit more, and I don't know what happened to the footage, y'all. That one just disappeared. But on the opposite hand, I'll also show you that I did add the swirls, but instead of hearts, I went in and applied lips, and I just used my dotting tool and my striper brush. I'm telling you, that will get you a long ways in some nail art, okay? And I just created some lips. Mom and Dad's only daughter, do I make you proud? Writing my life in lyrics, do you like the sound? Okay, so that completes this set, y'all. You know I had to start off with my flash on, okay? Just so you can see exactly how that reflective gel works. So beautiful. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see y'all in another video. Bye.